Okay. Doctor. She'll come. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Still sounds very unenthusiastic. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Looks like some of us are happy to be here today. But I want us to have a bit more energy. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
So it's my job to welcome you to this conversation. I'm just going to say that I hope this is not a boring conversation. I hope that it is an engaging and very interesting conversation. Zainab, you've got a video to play for us, have you? Okay, so play.
Media is a very powerful tool. Over the years, we've seen it spark protests with NSARS, with Black Lives Matter. We've seen it bring people to justice. We've seen media is a very powerful tool. Over the years, we've seen it spark protests with NSARS, with Black Lives Matter. We've seen it bring people to justice. We've seen it drive change. Media is a very powerful tool. Over the years, we've seen it spark protests with NSARS, with Black Lives Matter. We've seen it bring people to justice. We've seen it drive change. And essentially, I think what foundations like the Yar'Adua Foundation aim to do is use media as a tool for social change.
I'm here for the Nylon Media and Yar'Adua Foundation workshop with female filmmakers in Abuja.
I'm passionate about mental health and human rights generally, and for this program, which is about social justice, it's something that I can relate to and something that I fight for as someone who wants mental health to be free for all.
I'm looking forward to meeting the ladies, networking, learning something new, and hopefully collaborating with some of the amazing women here today.
I anticipate a very lively, invigorating and involved session where we exchange ideas, where we network, where we get to know each other and what we do and how best we could collaborate with each other in the future.
So the reason we're here today is to kind of click the reset button in terms of how we generate these ideas and how we create these videos, and a different approach basically to how we do that, to see how we can be more engaging and more impactful.
I think this is really great. We just finished a brainstorming session on different adverts that we could put out in relation to social justice. I think these types of meetings should happen more often because there isn't really a space where other female creatives can really just meet up, and I found value in being here for that.
With our idea, we were putting two frames at the same time, like they're running simultaneously.
They are all talking and talking and talking, and their voices are kind of drowning hers.
I like the fact that the experience on social media contrasts. They can't tell on social media that she's struggling to express herself, that she's someone living with disability. All they just see are words.
This workshop was really an impactful one, very practical. I love the fact that we're able to break out into sessions, build up ideas together, brainstorm with other creative women, and exceeded my expectations.
This has been a very fun session. I really enjoyed it. All the really great ideas from our female creatives, actually. We're excited about the opportunity of building the capacity, stimulating the capacity of female creatives in Abuja and the environs to continue to include social justice messaging in their content, but also to contribute to the creation of advocacy videos that could change our country and our communities.
I think it turned out to be more fun than I actually expected. I was actually thinking I was just going to come, it's going to be all business, all serious. It was a very, very, very amazing and invigorating session, and I'm very glad I was able to make it.
It's been a very insightful and productive day. And they say where women are gathered, great things happen. So I'm very glad that I came here, and I'm so glad that the foundation and Nigerian Media collaborated to bring everybody together.
This was a very beautiful workshop, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to participate in this. The experience was really worth it. I hope for more opportunities like this, and I just want to say it was worth it, and thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to more of this kind of meetings, and also the platform it afforded me to network with other women in the creative industry here in Abuja.
It was such a great experience to be here with Nigerian Media and at the Yar'Adua Center, and truly cannot wait to be back for the next occasion, and cannot wait for you all to see the videos that we come up with.
A round of applause now. Guys, when you finish watching something, you clap. Some of the people who were in that video are here today. You can recognize some of them. So another round of applause for them. So today we are going to be watching a film. But I would like us to watch it differently from how we watch films regularly. I'm sorry that we don't have popcorn here, but I would like us to watch it differently. I have to use different eyes to watch this film that we're about to watch. Some of us might even have watched it before, but I would like us to watch it differently. And maybe a few remarks that I will make before you get the opportunity to hear from the filmmaker would give you a bit of a perspective on how to watch this film called Fourth Republic that we're about to watch. Now, I'm going to ask a question, and feel free to respond and be very honest. How many of you have found yourselves in a position where you are under pressure because of your identity? You are under pressure to do something. Something has happened. You're under pressure to behave in a certain way because of who you are. How many of you? Raise your hand. Huh? You don't get? You don't get? Okay, so this happens a lot. I mean, there are a lot of Nigerian guys who have traveled to other African countries. And you find that maybe you go to a club, you meet girls from those African countries, you are under pressure to spend. Is that correct? You are under pressure to spend. If you wanted to spend $200 before, you find yourself spending $500 because there is a certain expectation on you as a Nigerian guy. Am I lying? And you don't want to fall the hand of your ancestors. Is that true? So there's a power that social expectation places on you, and it can cost you money. Now, this morning, as I was trying to find out what happened with the strike that they promised us, I went on X, or formerly known as Twitter, and I saw a tweet by a young lady detailing a conversation between herself and some guy. The guy was asking, "Have you eaten?" And she said, "No." And then, the guy kind of just said, "Okay, well, fine, find something to eat." And she was offended. And there was a big conversation. In fact, that tweet got about 4,000 quotes. People quoting it and saying, don't you have parents? Don't you have a father? You are not fan. But then somebody quoted it and said that, the people who cause this problem are men, enablers, who, once a woman says, "I've not eaten," they will send lunch. And so they created that expectation that the moment you ask a woman, have you eaten? And she says no, she expects you to send lunch. Is that true? How many of you expect lunch? Raise your hand. So, social expectations can motivate behavior. And I think the person who made the quote, or quoted the tweet and said something about enabling was onto something. I don't agree or disagree with her about whether men were the ones who enabled that behavior. But what she was saying, there's a point to it, that when you see a certain social expectation, there are drivers for it. There are people who are responsible for creating that expectation in the first place. So that what would normally be a normal conversation between two people, have you eaten, you haven't eaten, okay, find something to eat. Suddenly there is an expectation on top of it. And then there is a behavior that is expected as a result of that conversation. Something is driving it. And many times, those who drive this expectation are storytellers. For instance, the experience that you have if you're a Nigerian man and you go to an African country and you are expected to spend money, that was created by storytellers. People who have watched Nollywood, who have watched Nigerian music videos, expect a certain typical Nigerian man. That Nigerian man was created by storytelling. This Nigerian man doesn't exist. It was created by storytelling. And now you are expected to wear the uniform of that Nigerian man and behave the same way he behaved in the film that was featuring Kanayo Kanayo. You are expected to behave in the same way that, you know, the other, what's his name? I don't remember all these actors, but yeah, Jide Kosoko behaved. That's no problem. You need to take 4. Right? So storytelling has a way of creating expectations and normalizing them. So it feels normal to you to expect lunch. It feels normal to you that you have to spend money. The same way when it comes to accountability and any other behavior in society, storytelling can shape the way society models behavior, can create incentives for certain behaviors and other behaviors as well. So if you are here today and you are involved in storytelling, you have considerable power to shape society, to shape the kinds of behaviors that you want to see. There's a Nigerian, I don't know if you guys have heard about him. His name is Benedict Omalo. How many of you have watched the film Concussion? You've heard about Concussion? It was a 2015 film, was released in 2015. It featured a Nigerian whistleblower. If Chido didn't know of it, I would have been shocked, because his work is around whistleblowing. A Nigerian doctor went to the US, and he got employed by the NFL to be checking the athletes. And he discovered that most of the athletes were coming in with brain damage. And this was something that other doctors in the NFL, they would keep quiet about. They wouldn't say anything. And he decided to speak up. He became a whistleblower. And it was him against this establishment, multiple billion-dollar establishment. It was a Nigerian man, Benedict Omalo. If you haven't watched the film, go and check it out. And eventually, that his whistleblowing caught the attention of the press, and then it became an issue. And now, Hollywood made a film about him. And he was played by Will Smith. Can you imagine your own life story being played by Will Smith? Wouldn't it be amazing? If you had, who would play your life story if you had a film made about you? Genevieve Naji? Nsekwe Tim? Kate Henshaw? The point is, he found himself in a society where whistleblowing was incentivized by storytelling. How many whistleblowers in Nigeria have we rewarded with a biopic? Is there any? Huh? The person who blew the whistle on the 43 million euros in Ikoyi, do you know their name? Whistleblowing. Storytelling can incentivize behaviors. They can signal to society that this is the kind of behavior you should emulate. And you will get your story told by Nollywood, by creative storytellers. So there is a direct relationship between the society that we see today and the kinds of stories that we tell. So as we watch this film today, look again at the film and look at it from the lens of what kind of behaviors is it incentivizing? What behavior is it telling you is okay and is not okay? How is it shaping or shape the minds of those who are watching it? And then probably when we are done, we can have a conversation about this film and how it is impacting society. Thank you and welcome again. So we don't have Dr. Kole Shetima today because he has another engagement. And so we'll go straight to the business. Is Ishaya here? Okay, so I would like to recognize Ishaya, who's the director, Griot Studios, and who made the film. He would introduce the film, and then we'll watch it. Ishaya.
Thank you, Amara, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming here. My name is Ishaya Bako, and I'm a filmmaker. So we made Fourth Republic in 2019. That's when it was first released, and it was a film just reflecting on the nature of our democracy, particularly around the electoral system and also the judiciary. I'd like to thank the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Foundation for pretty much putting this event together, and it'll be interesting to have the conversation afterwards. I wouldn't follow what Amara has said. I'm curious as to who you would want to play you your story, but I think he said it all in terms of what you should look for in terms of watching the film. But yeah, once you watch it, it'll be interesting to know what you guys think afterwards. Thank you.
Lights and action.
Can you please tell this honorable court your name, your address, and what you do for a living?
My name is Amina Tukur. I live at number 83 Sompman Road, Kuba. I am an NYC member posted to Conference Stage Jiboyi local government.
On the 8th of March 2020, were you in Jiboyi?
No, I was not. I was in Ikonu local government.
And what were you doing in Ikonu?
I was deployed by NYC to INEC as an electoral official. We were shared among local governments. Me and my friend Lucky were sent to Ikonu.
Lucky. That would be Lucky Army, right?
Yes.
Then what happened?
They were going to assign us as one of the polling stations. One of the senior electoral officials came and asked us if we wanted to make money. I didn't want to, but Lucky convinced me to.
What happened then?
They took us to a primary school. They shared us into groups. Some were changing the ballot papers, while others were burning the one they had exchanged. When they had finished, some were taking the new ballot papers and the boxes back to the bus.
Then what happened while you were there?
We were talking when we had a car.
What are you doing?
Going to be interesting.
A man came out from the car and started arguing with the woman in charge. But they were too far from us to hear what they were saying.
And do you know who this man was?
I found out from the news. Later, it was Yar'Adua.
Oh. So, what happened after that?
Then another car came. Men with guns came out from the car. They started to fight with the woman in charge. Lucky saw that trouble was about to start.
You go for me before you trouble,
He grabbed me and we ran. We managed to hide in the bush and then we started to hear gunshots.
Mama. Please, don't shoot me. Ah! Boss, fool. Do you know what you've done here? Put it all down. Now. Do you have any proof of all this?
Lucky made a video, but I don't have it.
If you don't have the video, why then should we believe you?
Because he had the video. And now he is dead.
We don't show again on top your radio. Now your Ogbonge radio master, MC Bluetooth and Electrical, all the way from the top of our party for this beautiful conference day. Today, na day one, and that one means say, today na the last day inside the countdown to the election. I shall say, all man, all woman, I don't already carry on PVC, come vote for our next governor. Who will win this political match? Our current governor, we name now, Alhaji Idrisani or Madam Mabel King. Una know say both of them don't campaign well and Madam Mabel King market don't sell. So the people don't change and say this Madam Fitch should become the first female governor for this country. Waiting will happen for this election. We go find out sharply.
Today is a new day. With the determination and resolve of the men and women in Conference State, a new dawn begins. Today, you, the people of Conference State, you, my people, chose to stand for justice over impunity. You chose to stand for progress in all the key sectors in our economy, and you chose to stand for the safety and security of your lives and property. I stand here today, a proud woman and an honest servant to the people. I would like to thank the citizens of Conference State and all Nigerians for their peaceful conduct during this election. I would also like to thank and congratulate my competitor, Alhaji Idrisani, the former governor
We don't congratulate him.
I'm sorry?
Sani, we don't congratulate him. Let's keep the focus of my first address on our agenda.
I mean,
we say yes when they
congratulate him. It's customary to congratulate your competition, especially in victory.
I beg. It's good, personable. Mr. Kimbogo, what do you think? Mr. Kimbogo.
Kimbogo. Yes, I agree. Do it.
Make the changes. I'll finish in my words. Thank you, Ike.
Well, Your Excellency, good meeting. Very good meeting.
I don't want you before. Make you no try me again. Useless man. Oh, the beg no first. So only never find police.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so Mabel arrived at the polling booth at exactly 9 a.m. to vote. The photographer is already set up. He's getting us pictures for online. I was thinking, do you think we might need any last-minute interviews? People can listen in on radio or online when you're on the way to go vote.
At this point, everybody knows who they're going to vote for.
You say so?
Madam, I beg, increase the volume.
The conference is gubernatorial elections between UPR's incumbent Idris Sani and Democratic Congress aspirant Mabel King is set to hold tomorrow.
Off the channel, we don't want to hear you.
Since not there, what do you know?
Analysts have speculated that the conference state election will be one of the closest elections in the state's history.
Me self, now Mabel I go vote for. Now Mabel too when my sister daughter enter university. Hey, that's our organization. They help people well. Don't help people. Plenty.
Not true. I know how many people she don't help.
Not true.
Not true.
Mabel King for governor.
Sani.
Sani.
Where these people come from now?
No man there. On their own.
Hey guys. Still don't know Alan. What's the energy in there? How's she feeling? Nervous? Confident?
Oh, she's great. She's never been more confident. Are we ready?
Almost. Dino Samson and Ahmed are on their way to the local government. The rest are already there.
Isn't your time up here?
No.
You really shouldn't be here by now. Hafiz, please see him off.
Come on, Sikiru. I thought we were
Bye.
friends, man.
Once coalition starts, they will send updates to their partners on the local government every 30 minutes.
Okay.
We'll probably know the results before the official announcement.
All right, good job. I'm heading to the annex to the office now, right, to supervise the monitoring team. I need real-time updates as you get them.
All right, sir.
No, now. See spelling now. Is this the name?
Oga.
This is this guy.
Oga, now you date video. Ha. Okay, you know, say, we na junior staff, we're not supposed to add something for us, even though na small just.
You don't know, say na junior staff they get pass.
Oga, be your boy now.
You get wife, abi you get pikin. You don't know, say you supposed to come pay tithe for the one where they cut you.
Oga, they tax you for.
You know how people will even allow you to go peace.
My
friend, can you imagine?
Just sir.
This guy, when they talk to the police, they collect bribe. Look at this guy. No mind him.
Darling.
I don't have your time looking.
I said it was darling, I'm fighting.
I told you I don't want to come here. Now see what you're first.
I mean, now relax. It's almost over. These guys are paying us more than 2 months salary. It's not far better than going to stand under the sun. I mean, okay, check this. Of all the people in camp, God looked at us and decided to bless us. I mean, I do the maths now. You're fine, Sha. I mean, Sha, after all this, you finally allow me to take you out to dinner. I mean, now let me spoil you, man. Let me spoil you. I just want to spoil you. Come on, I've been asking you since camp now. You can't refuse me again. God! Look at that smile. Smile for me.
What are you doing?
Thank you.
Let me see.
It's so fine. Relax now.
What are you doing?
Shh. This is
going to be interesting.
What is going on there? At this time, what happened? Elections finished a long time ago. You are supposed to be at the collation center. So what are you doing here?
Nothing is going on, nothing. Everything is under control. Take it easy. Take it easy. It's not what you think. Who are you? And where are you going to?
Mama, what did happen for that place?
Nothing is happening. Please leave.
Nothing is happening. And when I come full for there.
I said nothing is happening. Be gone.
Mama. You come on for me before you chop bullet.
Hey, please. Everybody just calm down, please.
Drop your
weapon. Calm down.
Drop it.
Calm down.
Calling your boss again? He's probably tired of babysitting me. Coffee?
No.
I like my coffee like my woman. Dark and sweet.
You've been here too long, Mr. Moore. You need to go home.
I love Africa. Nigeria especially. Besides, I go where the story leads me.
I'm sure you do.
You know Mabel's gonna win, right? What happens afterwards? Get yourself a shiny position?
You're sure she's going to win?
From the looks of things, she will, and rightfully so. Widow, mother, businesswoman, she opens her mouth and she sounds like a savior. But she's gonna break their hearts after she's elected. Politicians, they're no different.
The people are not stupid. Look, between King Industries and her foundation, she's done more for unemployment, education, and the IDPs than the past two administrations. Just give her the next 4 years. I'm sure you'll come back to say you were wrong.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Please, let me call you back. Let me call you back. Yeah. Yes.
Why the violent?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, it's one of the local governments.
What?
Not the whole local government. The primary school. 16 people have been confirmed dead.
It has been brought to my attention. There has been a violent incident in Ikonu local government. And for this reason, the Electoral Commission will not accept results from that local government.
My people. Election don't finish, but it be like say monkey hand don't enter inside pot of soup for this matter. According to the news with the ground, some people carry ballot box, won't come rearrange their own results. Now in fight starts, they can't kill themselves anyhow. This thing happened for Ikonu local government. And like that, INEC don't cancel the result for that local government area. When more tori come out, we go carry and come on top news story.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially declared incumbent Governor Idris Sani winner of the 2020 Conference State elections.
God will judge the people that did this. Yes. They won't get away unpunished. Yes. The God I serve will not let them get away. Accept my sympathy, my friend.
Please, can we have a minute? We just need a minute. Your Excellency.
Our dear sister. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
accept my sincere condolences over your loss. I want to assure you that you and your children will not want for anything. My government of Confluence State will be a husband to you and a father to your children. Sanu?
Thank you for coming, sir. Thank you. Nagode.
Allah ji kanshi. Allah ji kanshi.
Amen.
Sannunku. Sannunku ba? Yeah.
Please, what can you tell us about the massacre at Ikono?
Look, the massacre at the school was a great tragedy. I will personally ensure that the culprits behind what happened to our dear brother Sikiru Ajala are arrested. This will be the focus of my government. Criminality will not be allowed to reign in this state. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you very much. Mrs. King.
After what happened at Ikono, you still have the nerve to show up here?
What happened at Ikono, Mrs. King?
You know exactly what happened.
Look, you've tried. I really didn't expect that you will last this long. Well done.
Are you serious? Here?
Why not? Look, there is fire in you that I really like. You don't have to continue being a widow.
Excuse me, Governor Sani. Gentlemen.
Madam.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
The election results are obviously not indicative. I should have won. Even with that imbecile of a running mate, Akingbongo, you saddled me with. I had, and I still have the numbers. Go out to the streets. I am the people's choice. I still have their backing.
Madam Mabel, don't talk like a small girl. Numbers do not mean anything. And really, it doesn't matter who has them. What matters is who has won and who has lost.
Madam Mabel, you have tried. You have come very far. No one thought a woman could come this far. Talk less of even gathering enough support. But you did. It's a victory for you.
How is this a victory?
Madam Mabel, Sani has taken this one. And he's not ready to let go of his office. We'll do it again the next election. As at now, as I'm talking to you, the Democratic Congress has the presidency and 21 states. So the next time, we'll get Confluence State, that I'm sure of.
Next time. Is this with me or with a male candidate? I don't believe we have lost yet. I still think we have a chance with this election. I am contesting the results, and I will win. I just need your support. Why do you want to waste all the work and efforts we put into this one for a next time that has no guarantees?
In politics today, governorship aspirant and runner-up to the just concluded Confluence State elections, Mabel King, has rejected the results of the election in the state. Mrs. King has filed a petition against the winner, incumbent Governor Idris Sani and INEC. They will be going to court for the election petition tribunal set to hold within the next 180 days.
Thank you for seeing me, Ma. Of course. Like I said to you before, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. So what did you want to see me about?
I heard about your petition. I want to join your team.
I didn't know you were interested in politics.
My father never really wanted me to.
He wanted me to have a less questionable career path. But I want to make real change, and politics is the best place to start.
Your father was right about his reservations. He has worked in this game for a very long time. He helped my husband win his senatorial seat. He has been with me from the very beginning. Do not discount his advice. Politics is just one way to make a difference.
I know it is. But if you can transition from corporate world into politics, so can I. Besides, despite my father's reluctance, I learned a lot from him, and I'm willing to learn from you. I think I will be an asset to your team, and my law degree can come in handy. Ma, with my father gone, my family needs a breadwinner. I need to take care of them, and my current job isn't doing enough.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you, Ma.
Hi.
Hi. Were you just sitting down there waiting for me to come out?
Oh, me? No, I was just watching this really interesting TV show.
Huh. I can see that.
But did it go in there?
Well, it seems like we'll be working together. What? You don't want to see my face every day?
Of course not. Congrats.
I hear congratulations are in order for you too. Chief of Staff, Mabel King.
Yeah, even though we lost our election, we can only hope the tribunal favors us. You know, I wasn't thinking this was anything
Hey, okay. It's fine. I'm sure my dad would have approved. So, how are your brother and sister? Emeka and Cynthia, right?
You remember. They're fine.
That's nice. Nice. So, did my dad have an office here?
He was hardly ever in one place. Always said there was a lot of work to be done, so.
Ike, do you know why my dad went to the primary school that day?
Oh, I don't, but it's been bothering me ever since.
To be honest, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The way he died, I don't accept it. I don't accept that whoever did this would not be persecuted for it.
Yeah, but we just have to find a way to prove it. Make the most of the tribunal. We just have to make sure we find the best way of doing it right. Together.
Still the eternal optimist I see.
Give it time. You'll come around.
Shall we the kitchen?
Okay.
And the conference room?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Barrister.
Pleasure is all mine, ma'am.
You came very highly recommended from the powers that be at the Democratic Congress. I hope we can win this.
I believe we have a very good case. The law is on our side. And if there is one thing I know 100%, it's the law.
This is Buki and Ike. They'll be working with your team on the tribunal. We're all in the battle now. Let's make sure we are the ones left standing.
Your Excellency, they have no case. The tribunal won't even run the full 180 days.
Thus, due to the prevalent violence within conference states, we request the Election Petition Tribunal be relocated to Abuja.
My people, Tor Matadon said, the Election Petition Tribunal between Madam Mabel King and Alhaji Idrisani go soon start for Abuja. Madam Mabel, whom then they call petitioner for court, don't sue Governor Sani, say now she win the election for our confluence state. This political match don't come enter extra time.
Brother, welcome.
Cynthia. Yeah.
Welcome.
Wadima. Welcome. How was your trip?
Fine, thank you. Emeka.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Wadima. How was the journey?
Fine.
Well done, sir.
Brother, ke called na mmadụ. We make a meet here.
You think a future governor has time for you?
But maybe it's not like that.
Ah, never.
These people go just carry light anyhow. Bros, I wanted to ask you something.
What's that?
I need money.
Didn't I just give you money?
Bros, now don't finish now.
How much?
100K.
Mecca, what are you doing with 100K?
Bros, you know the way things are. The country is very hard.
It's not that hard.
Please, now.
I'm not giving you any more money.
Bros, try to consider now.
My friend, guy, when that generator, stop disturbing me.
Bros.
Hey.
Hey.
It's like I'm back in law school.
Oh, please, don't remind me.
Oh, they announced the judges.
Who are they?
My client needs this property. He really appreciates it.
Justice Tony Ashafa, customary court of appeal. They call him the Ashawo.
Look, Dalla, just replace my name with that of Justice Hussein. You can do it. Wallahi, the last case I oversaw nearly finished me. My blood pressure is already so high. Oh.
Justice Gambo Megungo, Sharia Court of Appeal. Last but not least, chairperson, Justice Matilda Ekanem, High Court.
Today marks day one of the Election Petition Tribunal addressing the contested Confluence State governorship election. As you will recall, Governor Idris Sani was declared winner against aspirant Mabel King.
Court. My lords, this petition was instituted on grounds of widespread irregularities in the electoral process. There are 1 million registered voters in Confluence State, 20 local governments, 9 declared for the petitioner, 10 for the respondent. But Ikonu is the largest and the defining zone. The petitioner was in the lead. But then, the massacre in Ikonu happened. A terrible tragedy, but a fortunate event for the respondent. Just like that, the election result in Ikonu was declared void, and Idris Sani declared the winner.
The results of the election should have been declared inconclusive, and a runoff should have been ordered. However, the incumbent was declared winner under very unfortunate and violent circumstances.
There was nothing transparent about this electoral process.
My lords, there has been a process set in place for situations like what we saw in Confluence State, and the REC followed it to the letter. My learned friend implied the respondent's culpability in the massacre in Ikonu, That is false. Ikonu has had a history of election violence even before the respondent's tenure. The real question isn't the respondent's involvement at all. The real question is, why was the petitioner's campaign manager at the school in the Ikonu in the middle of the night? What was going on in that building before it was burned down? This petition has no grounds.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. You're welcome.
How's
Everything?
I'm very well. Yeah.
His Excellency will be with you shortly.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Does Governor Sani know I'm still here?
Yes, he knows you're here.
We already have one of the judges on our side, and we are working on another one. It's a matter of simple majority. It doesn't matter if we don't have the third judge. Whatever witnesses or evidence they bring, we can influence or take out of the picture completely. Your Excellency, we won't have any problems.
Make sure we don't.
We won't. Thank you very much, Barrister.
You're welcome, sir.
Sanjima, sir. So, Sanjima.
Okay, Daddy, sir.
Ya dai bismillah mana. Ya babanka ne?
A lafiyan shi lau, sir.
Ka san yana ɗaya daga cikin mutanen da suke taimakawa kamfen ɗinmu mai muhimmanci. Na aika mishi da wani ɗan sako, ina fata ya samu.
Ya samu. Ya ce ma in maka godiya.
To, bismillah mana. Ka san matasa yanzu yawanci abin da ke kawo su shiga siyasa neman kuɗi ne zalla. They can be greedy, eh? Amma kai daban kake. To, kai da ka tashi cikin arziki, what really brought you into my campaign?
Politics is where the real power is.
Danladi, you attended law school with Ikechu Kobiano and Buki Ajala.
Yes.
What's your relationship with them now?
We haven't spoken in years. We all went our separate ways after law school.
Okay. You can reconnect with them?
Yes, if necessary.
Okay. So, we have a job for you. We want to know everything that is going on inside Mabel King's camp in this period of the tribunal. And you know people there. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So, is there something you can do for us?
I have to think about it.
I thought you said just now that you have an interest in politics.
Let him just think about it. I am sure he will make the right decision. Shikena.
Yes, sir.
Sanjima.
To Sanjima.
Yeah. Danladi. There you go. Thanks for coming.
I want to thank all of una, say una come all the way from Confluence City. From the beginning, when I start the campaign, una don't dey support me.
Of course.
It can't be unfortunate as things can't be. But I've been done promise una before. Say I go make plenty changes for the community if they elect me. I still stand on them till today.
As far as we dey concerned, now you be our right governor. That election, now total nonsense. Idris Sani. No one for Confluence State one time. For the 4 years where he did that governor office, I beg, what he do? Nothing. He not do anything, no improvement, nothing, no. And they tell you, people know they're happy. Now just suffer, we just suffer, they go. But you see this election where you they contest, now the right thing. Now make us come this Abuja, we will show you say, we get your back, get the back. Nothing they move us, nothing they shake us. We get your back till the end. Have you not been so? Don't worry, my women, they're your back.
I do
Get
well.
you back.
I do well. Thank you very much, Patience.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My
lawyer will be in touch.
No problem.
Safe trip, eh?
Oh, thanks. Good afternoon.
Officers. Ike, Buki, my office.
Ma, we are investigating the incident happened at the primary school in Ekunu. But I will not lie to you, we are unable to make much progress. Because you are so worried about this thing, that is why we are here to inform you.
Madam, investigations are still on as we speak.
Exactly.
But we would like you to be patient with us. It's all a process, ma, and as we know, processes take time.
And to be honest with you, we that are doing the investigation, we have to use our money to buy fuel and airtime to conduct the investigation.
Are you asking us to give you money to finish the investigation?
No, no, no. We are not here asking for a bribe or anything. We all know from Madam's campaign that she is not a woman that does such things.
And even we ourselves will never ask for it. Unless, if you people want to appreciate us, then,
So are you saying you haven't made any progress at all?
No, young lady, that's not what I am saying. So far, we have been able to identify all the victims and compare them with the list of those who should have been attached to that fooling board. But we've noticed some names are still unaccounted for. We are still investigating.
Give us a copy of the list.
Okay.
Please tell this honorable tribunal your name and what you do for a living.
Okonkwo Nnamdi is my name, and I work for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
Long time no see.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Hi, Obiano. We haven't seen since law school. You look good. I heard about your father. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
So what have you two been up to?
Well, I finally did what you asked me to do. I'm in the game, and I'm working for Mabel King. Well, myself and Ike.
You finally did what I've been saying and you went to Mabel? You should have come to me.
I think we both know we're better when we're apart.
So what are you two doing tonight? We should hang out. It's been a while we stayed.
Sure.
Sure.
Ugh. Oh. You guys are not going home, right? Go with this. 2 more bottles. Yeah. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Hey. Night is still young. No more phones. Sure. I've missed you. I'm serious.
Shut up, Danny.
I still think about us.
No. No, you don't.
I was stupid in law school, but not the same anymore. Give me a chance. Or are you and Ike together? Hey, Ike.
Morning.
Morning.
The cook made breakfast. Join us.
Democracy across the continent is starting to thrive. Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, we are seeing results. In the next 4 years, we should see some progress here. Another 10, who knows? We just need the right people.
You think Mabel is one of them?
Yes.
The two of you are running on dreams, you know. So, how is the tribunal going? What? We can't talk about it because we are on opposite sides politically.
Yes, and because your father is one of Sani's biggest campaign contributors.
So I'm guilty by association.
Yes, you are. We have to go still. We have some coppers to find that are missing in Confluence City, and also a meeting with the commissioner of police.
Well, the commissioner of police. Do you have a connect? I can make some calls.
No, it's okay. It's just a follow-up on the Ikono massacre.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so...
Okay. Good to have you guys.
All right, man.
We should hang out again.
Sure.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
What are you doing?
Posting it online. One-on-one with Mabel King. Hashtag People's Choice, first female governor, and hashtag what really happened in CC.
Nice. All right, I'll stay back there.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Hello and welcome. My name is Alan Moore, and I'm sitting down with Mabel King, one of the first female governorship candidates in Nigeria. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Alan.
I'll get right in it. Why did you decide to run for governor? I'm sure some people have told you to go for something smaller. Senate, like your late husband, or perhaps maybe work in an existing cabinet. Why go out there on your own? Why governor?
It came down to how much change I wanted to initiate and what position would put me in the best place to do that. The citizens of Confluence State have been longing for progress for so long. Like you said, my husband was a senator, and so I saw firsthand the constraints he had to work within. Like it or not, the governor's office is the highest office in the state. I knew if I wanted to create change for the people, that's where I had to be.
But you lost.
That's debatable.
You don't think you lost?
I don't believe I did.
Why don't you think so?
There are many irregularities in the process and the results. I believe if the election was allowed to follow due course, I would be the one the people have chosen.
Is this why you're contesting the ruling?
Yes, it is.
What do you hope the outcome of the petition would be?
That justice will be done. We need to set a precedent that political violence and thuggery will not be the order of the day.
Speaking of that, in an area you lost, Ikunu, your campaign manager, Mr. Sikiru Ajala, died there with 18 others in an odd circumstance. Speculations went by that he was there to rig the election on your behalf, but something went wrong.
Sikiru Ajala was not trying to rig the elections for me. While I don't know the details, I knew Sikiru. If anything, he was there to stop any form of foul play from the other side. Sikiru was a man of integrity. He was a part of my family, and I learned a lot from him.
If the petition goes as you hope, and you really do take the office, do you think you have a big responsibility in becoming the first female governor of Nigeria?
Yes, to show that it can be done, and to open the door so that it will be done again.
One last question. What would you like to tell the people of Confluence State and the people of Nigeria as a whole?
Thank you so much for your continued support. The battle for the things that are important cannot be won in a day. We are fighting for our future and the future of our children. Together, we will win.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great interview.
Thank you. Where have both of you been? I tried to reach you last night and earlier on in the day.
There was...
We were... There was...
What? Are the two of you becoming very good friends?
We actually wanted to talk to you about the investigation in Ikonu.
What about it?
We were thinking of going to Confluence City ourselves, follow up on the names that were missing from the list.
Is it necessary? I need both of you here.
We can't really let the police to do it. You saw how they were.
And you just never know, we might come up with something useful. It won't be long.
Okay, just keep me posted. Where's your sister?
She's in our room.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What's wrong?
Have you been to Ikonu? Have you seen the primary school? I think I want to see it with my own eyes. People died. And they all died for nothing. One small state election. That's what they died for. All people will think about is my father died where they were rigging.
You don't know that's what happened. No one knows anything.
Don't be naive, Ike. What else were they doing here?
I don't know. I worked with your father every day. He was a good man. This cannot be his legacy.
This is the list?
Yeah, this is the list.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You see, now so better people they do. Let's go.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Sir, we're looking for Emeka Anyanwu.
Get out of my house.
Sir, we only want to find out exactly what happened to your son.
I told the last person that came here, asking stupid questions. If anybody returned this place without my son, I will kill them. But wait.
No! Good afternoon, ma'am. Please, we are looking for Essay. Etim.
My essay. Where is she? Una don't find her.
When I know let Essay come and call me that mama. My essay.
Yes? Now be that.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon.
My name is Aladi. I came to look for Lucky. I'm his friend from university.
Lucky not the house.
Okay, I've been trying to reach him. It hasn't been going through. Does he have another number that I can reach him?
Now only one number I get.
Oh, wow. Okay, when Lucky comes back, tell him I came to look for him. Please tell him to call me. Yeah, I'll take my leave. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you. Amina, you were at Ikonu on the night of election. You saw what happened at the school.
Imagine that rich man want me to believe, say, you and Dean be friends for school. Lucky. Now what do you do?
Every time Lucky do, every time, nothing.
So now this thing make you leave Confluence State, eh? Lucky.
Mama, don't worry. I go fix them.
Lucky. You not fit kill me, oh.
Mama, don't tell you, no worry, I go fix them.
Lucky. You not fit kill me. Sure you dey hear me. You not fit kill me, oh. You not fit kill me. I not go die because I born.
What did you do after you and Lucky ran?
Lucky wanted us to forget about it, but I couldn't. I went to the police to report.
We raised our daughter to be a law-abiding citizen.
The police in Confluence City? I mean, have you seen the news about the tribunal on TV? Do you think you can tell the tribunal what happened that night?
No, she can't. She's only telling the two of you. You go and tell them.
It has to be Amina. She was there. She's a witness.
My dear, it's the right thing to do.
I don't care.
Ma, please.
No, let her stay where she's safe. I won't allow her to go and kill herself for any politician.
I'm so sorry. I hope we didn't cause any trouble.
It's okay. They have been like this since I told them what happened.
It's not about politicians, Amina. It's about doing the right thing and making sure the people that died at the Kano get justice. Here. Call me if you change your mind, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
All right. Hello, Cynthia? What?
Ike, I swear, I don't know what they were doing. All I knew was they had a lot of money. All I wanted was to feel them more. I swear, I don't know the details.
Were you raised to be stupid?
Please, I'm sorry. Ike, please help me. Help me, brother.
Lucky! Lucky!
Yeah, hello, Amina. Yeah, it's Lucky. I almost didn't make it, Amina. He chased me from my house, if not for God.
Two people came to see me too. They want me to testify in court.
No? For what now?
For justice. So the people who did it are punished.
Amina, forget that one. See, these people will not be punished. People need to collect punishment now. The best we can do is to make this situation work for us. I still have the video from that night. Amina, let's get what we can from it. While we can.
All you think about is money. It was because of money we ended up at school at the first place. Aren't you worried?
Relax.
Do you think they'll just let us go?
Amina, we will run. They won't find us. They won't. I promise.
We should take the video to the court. Once it's out, they have no reason to come after us. Lucky, don't you want to be free?
If you don't want the money, Amina, that's your business. As for me, Lucky, I don't feel waste this opportunity. I know fit. Goodbye, Amina.
A witness? And she made a report in Confluence City?
Which the police commissioner failed to tell us.
They're all Sani's people.
We need to get Amina to testify, but she's scared. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Sani's will track her down.
We need to confirm her story first, and then we can talk about testifying and possible witness protection. This is the situation. Sani's camp has Justice Ashafa on their side. It is done. But we need to move fast while there is still time. We need to get Justice Megungu on our side. Today, not tomorrow. Today.
Do you mean bribe him?
Bribery is illegal, Mrs. King. We are simply trying to win the judge over to our way of thinking. For our mutual benefit, of course.
It's only God that they've not gotten to him already. Everyone knows Justice Ekanem is the only incorruptible judge. I mean, she will be our swing vote. The only one we'll need to convince in court.
We're not bribing anyone.
Listen,
We are not bribing anyone. We need to hold ourselves up to higher standards. The consequences are too painful to imagine.
We need to find another play. This isn't our style.
There is no other play.
I agree. Unfortunately, these tactics are commonplace. I mean, every lawyer fresh out of law school knows this. It's sad, but necessary.
We are not bribing anyone. That is my final decision. Yes, come in. Have they found an alternative to the Megungun situation?
No, not yet. I wanted to talk to you about something personal.
Oh, okay. Sit down.
My brother's in trouble. He got involved with some online scammers at school. He didn't know what they were doing. They got him to sign some things for them, and now he's been arrested by the EFCC. The way it's looking, I fear he might get up to 5 years.
I'm sorry about your brother. I'll help as much as I can. I'll pay for the best lawyer to handle his case. Afolabi should know someone.
I already looked at the case myself. It's really strong. And with the current crackdown, he may not get any leniency. I was wondering if perhaps there was someone you could talk to on his behalf.
Ike, I can talk to someone to make sure he gets a fair trial. But I can't do more than that. It has to pass through the proper process.
understand. Thank you, Ma.
I beg, it's not about Mabel. It's about the party. So just do what you need to do.
Okay, okay.
Mabel King, na the real governor of Confluence State, Sanike. Maku na the network of all the market women for Confluence State across all the local governments. And Maku women vote for Mabel. Women plenty pass men for Confluence State.
But surely, not all the women voted for Mabel. I mean, not all Maku women.
Which Maku woman no vote? Give me her name. Na. It no fit happen at all. Even if small no vote, if for no matter at all, she for still win. No one want you to stand you.
Objection!
Object what?
Order!
Truth, not truth. Whether you want hear 'em or you no want hear 'em. Idrisani no send anyone. In wife papa, he no send them. The only thing where he send, na in pocket.
Objection!
Objection overruled.
So it is your belief that Governor Sani did not win this election?
No be only saying no we know. Now my belief say all the wuru way they happen for that election, na in cause am. The kill where they kill plenty people for that side, na in do am.
Objection!
All the scatter, na in cause am.
Order in court!
My lords, we have an unruly witness. Counsel should control his witness.
Objection sustained.
Thank you.
I rest, my lords.
I'm not waiting at talk. I'm waiting at talk now.
Yes,
So. And Mabel King, now she be the rightful governor.
Yes,
Now she is supposed to be. My governor,
Thank you for coming, Patience.
If I no come, who go come?
I don't know.
No worry. If we win, now staff we go drink. Yes.
Mama, no worry. When we win, now one carton I will come give you.
I trust you. Now so, because now she supposed to be our governor. We don't die. Now she we want.
Can I help you?
No. I've come to help you. You work for Mabel King, and your brother is still in custody. Is that how she treats people? Huh? See, we can set your brother free from jail.
I don't have anything to discuss with you.
Hey, he's still a young man. You will ruin his future because of Mabel King.
You went behind my back and bribed me, Gungu.
The party thought it was the best thing to do.
You work for me. Me. I like you, Afolabi. And going forward, don't you ever do anything like this again. You answer to me and no one else. If you can't do that, recuse yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate your support, gentlemen.
Thank you.
But this is not how I do things. I was clear. I didn't want to bribe anyone.
Madam, how you do your things is why you lost election the first time. You are simply not ready to do the necessary things.
Don't talk to me like I'm a child. I am the party's flag bearer. It is my reputation on the line. You don't know the things I've sacrificed, how hard I've worked, the things I've done to be here. This is my tribunal. From now on, I will handle it with no interference from anyone. If you don't like it, withdraw your support. It will be your loss in the long run.
You see?
See, guy, no worry. I know we stay the highest 2 days I don't work.
Lucky, if you stay, make I no lie you, I go locked down. I just say make I let you know within the as my guy. Now hear me I did.
2 days, man, 2 days.
You say now 2 days, Abi.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no wahala no. So if you cook anything where you want chop, you hear me so?
All right, man.
So I dey come out now. I go talk to you later.
All right, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Okay, no wahala.
How you try pass?
Now take care, man.
Hello?
Now you they chase me for road.
Yes?
See, ma, I clear you straight. I dey Ikonu. I see everything. I get video. Give me 10 million more and I'm here.
What are you saying?
I am saying, give me 10 million and I'll give you the Ikonu video. Don't give me an I'll call Mabel King and let's see if she has the money to pay.
Let me call you back.
Sweetie, is everything all right?
Come here. Yeah, hello, Mr. Onoha. We have a situation.
Hello, boss. You don't get time? I know still not type like this in the house now they keep my money.
Lucky!
Mama?
Lucky, I tell you!
Mama, are you?
Lucky!
Nonsense.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir.
Hey, Lucky. You're probably wondering why we're doing this to you. Why we're torturing you without asking you any questions.
I'm sorry, sir.
Or letting you say anything. You see, we're trying to establish a baseline here. This is the minimum of what will happen to you here.
Please, sir.
Yeah?
Thank you. I didn't mean it, sir.
sir. Please, sir. Please, sir.
Lucky, I did here. Lucky. Lucky.
Hey, Lucky. So, you saw me in the primary school. And you saw the shooting. You saw everyone die. And then you ran. Alone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what happened to the video you wanted us to buy?
It's on my phone, sir.
Okay. Did you copy it?
Wait, sir. I copied it onto an SD card. I copied it onto an SD card.
Where is it?
It's on the decks in my house. Don't lie, sir. I'm telling the truth.
Good boy.
Lucky, your mother is here.
Now waiting now.
Please don't kill my son, please.
What was that? The boy is a stupid child. You could have gotten the video from him in so many different ways.
If you could get it in so many different ways, why didn't you? Don't pretend you didn't know what was going to happen here when you called about him. You knew. You just want to pretend you're good. And what are you going to do with your goodness? Lucky made a copy of this video. It's in his house desk in his room. Go and get it. Follow him.
Oh, Lucky.
There's no need for that. We know where it is. No, just calm down. Just calm down. There's no need for all this. Say.
You don't see Amabe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go.
call Mr. St. James and tell him that we are on my way. Hello.
We're not done. There was a girl in this school. Possibly the fourth name on the list of missing persons. Amina Tuko. Well, what are you waiting for? Go and look for her. Ah.
Enter now. Enter.
Bros, nobody dey here now. Amina, I'm really sorry about what happened to your friend. But I was told that Lucky had a video of the incident at the court.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the video?
No.
Are you sure it's safe here?
Oh, yes. The owner of the house is hardly ever around. And the boys' quarters is empty. No one will know they're here. Let's go inside.
You were supposed to handle this. First, there was a witness, and then a video, and now another witness. Why are you so useless? Look, find this person. Get rid of this person. That is all I want.
Did they touch you?
No, not really. The guards and the other inmate took the things you sent.
I'll report to head of prisons.
No. I'm still here. She will only make things worse.
I've already spoken to a lawyer. They're going to get you out. It might be difficult, it might take some time, but we'll get you out. Or at least reduce time. Hmm?
It's okay.
It still would have been better to have the video. They wouldn't be able to argue with the video.
No, we should have gotten to Lucky first. Just seems like we're always one step behind.
The bigger problem is having her accepted as a witness at all. She wasn't front-loaded at the beginning of the tribunal. Sunny's lawyers are going to do everything to disqualify her, and they will have grounds.
So, what are we going to do?
Go to court, earn my pay.
Amina, I know you're scared, but your testimony is really important. The people who did this need to pay for what they did. And you're the only one who can make that happen. Do you understand?
Can you stand seeing them go free?
Okay, so will you testify?
I can't.
You can. For Lucky.
Yes, they allowed Amina. Ashafa tried to stop it, but Megungu and our perfect Ekanem agreed. She said technicality shouldn't stand in the way of truth. Yes. Do you have any proof of all this?
Lucky made a video, but I don't have it.
If you don't have the video, why then should we believe you?
Because he had the video. And now he is dead.
My lords, Lucky Ame was the only other living witness to the Ikonu massacre. I wish to tender in evidence pictures of his gruesome death. Amina, did you recognize any of the men who came out of the third car?
I recognize one of the men because I have also seen him on TV.
Oh, so who was he?
Idris Sani's special assistant. St. James on
Order! Amina, my learned friend mentioned that it was suspicious for Mabel King's campaign manager to have been at Ikonu Primary School at that hour of the night. But here you are telling this honorable tribunal now that the respondent's estate was also present.
Yes.
And that he arrived with the men who perpetrated the massacre in Ikonu.
Objection! Counsel is leading the witness.
Overruled.
Thank you, my lord. Amina, after the incident, what did you do? Did you just go home and forget all about it?
No. I went to the police and reported the incident.
And if you see a copy of the police report on the incident, would you recognize it?
Yes.
How?
The officer in charge, Officer Aruna, was eating and he spilled soup on it before I sang.
Order. Order in court.
Is this the police report you signed?
Yes.
What would you like this tribunal to do with the report?
I would like it admitted as evidence of my testimony.
My lords, the witness seeks to have the police report tendered as evidence. It corroborates her testimony to the letter. And this report was filed long before this tribunal was established. I rest.
Amina, how much did the electoral official offer you?
30,000 naira.
And they paid you before you went?
Yes.
And you knew what you were collecting it for?
Not exactly.
But you knew it had to do with allegedly tampering with elections.
Yes.
But you still went. You said Lucky convinced you to go.
Yes.
So we have established that not only are you the type of person who can be convinced to do something wrong, but the type of person who can be paid to do it. So it is not far-fetched that everything you have told us, as there is none of the supposed evidence to corroborate, could just have been a story the opposition fed you and paid you to deliver.
Objection, my lord. Counsel is badgering my witness.
Objection overruled.
When we win, I want a position in your administration.
When we win, we'll talk about it.
I'm not asking for special treatment. You know my qualifications. You know I will earn it.
Everybody get down!
Less than 48 hours after my team revealed to the court that Governor Idris Sani orchestrated the massacre in Ikonu local government, I was almost assassinated. My orderly died. I don't believe this is a coincidence.
It is becoming obvious to me that there are nefarious forces at play trying to compromise democracy and justice in Confluence State. Just this morning, there was an attempt at my life. I almost died, but for the active support of the
Hi.
Are you okay?
I took the information about the investigation to St. James and helped him find Lucky. That's a copy of the video and names of some men St. James uses. That's all the evidence you need.
My lords, the video in question should not be admissible. My learned friend has admitted that it is a copy and not an original. The owner and maker of the video is also no longer alive to corroborate its authenticity.
My lords, the said video has been referenced by earlier witness testimony. There has been a direct line of transfer of the video, and the length and means that has been gone to destroy it proves its authenticity and importance to this tribunal.
My learned brothers, the counsel for the respondent is correct. Copies of evidence without certified origins is inadmissible.
But my learned noble Ashaba,
Yes.
the destruction of the original has already been established by testimony under oath before this tribunal.
My learned brothers, while it is the law that relevance should be the forerunner of admissibility.
Exactly.
But the big question here is whether the piece of evidence brought forward is relevant. And in my considered opinion, it is.
But
it is quite
relevant. That's all right.
The evidence will be admitted and marked as Video Exhibit 1.
Please.
What control?
Please, nothing is happening.
Is this where
here.
you're supposed to be?
Nothing,
Aren't you supposed to be over there?
Nothing is happening here.
I don't
Please.
understand.
Mama, what did happen for that place?
Nothing is happening. Please leave.
Nothing is happening. And when I come full for there.
Mama. You come on for me before you jump on the head. Hey, please, please. Please don't shoot me.
Do you know what you have done here?
Now.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, hello?
It's the IG of police. Hello, sir.
What happened?
When you act like an errant child, you will be disciplined like an errant child. When they find your body, they will know you've destroyed everything that we worked for. But you did not escape.
Police, drop a weapon!
Claire.
The petitioners made the case that the respondent tampered with results in the Conference State gubernatorial elections, but failed to provide sufficient evidence to that effect. Secondary matters are of no consequence to the outcome of this tribunal. The petitioners failed to satisfy the burden of proof. I rule in favor of the respondent.
The petitioner has provided sufficient evidence in support of their petition. I therefore rule in favor of the petitioner.
In the matter of Mabel King versus Idris Sani, INEC and others, the petitioner has raised sufficient doubt in the fair conduct of the gubernatorial elections in Confluence State. This will remain a landmark case for a very long time. I rule in favor of the petitioner. The Independent National Electoral Commission is hereby ordered to conduct fresh polls in Ikonu local government within 90 days from today. The respondent, Idris Sani, is also hereby referred to the National Electoral Offences Commission for further investigation on matters revealed during this tribunal. This is the judgment of the tribunal.
All rise.
I have myself.
Congratulations. Said I was gonna tell you this in 4 years, but I guess I'm not gonna wait that long.
Apology accepted.
Hey man, you're right, I was wrong. Maybe Alice the real deal. She's gonna change confidence state.
Thank you for saying that. Now I really think you should stick around. You just might learn a thing or two.
Put your head up and raise it high, you can even fly. I say you know get wahala. All of us here we get palapala.
So are we going to make this official?
Do you want to make it official?
Well, I'm not sure, seeing that we're going to be working together. Specifically, you'll be working under me.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what the rules are about a chief of staff dating his subordinate.
So we're dating now, are we?
We should. Or don't you think?
Sure. I will think about it.
Now only you, I go give. See this kind of fine thing. Now so it's supposed to be right from the beginning. Now this thing, Sani be won't take from us. Ta! Secure yourself. No only man, sporty like small pikin.
Waiting secure sport.
Ikonu. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Ike.
Did you rig the election in Ikonu? Mama foretold me. Did you rig it?
It's not as simple as you think, Ike. It isn't. It wasn't my intention in the beginning. I tried to do things the right way, but then I looked around, and it's the only way everyone is winning. Even with overwhelming support, still, other people would be declared winner, and no one would do anything about it. I knew I had the people. I knew I was going to work for them when I came in, but I didn't think they would ever allow me.
So, everything you said about doing the right thing, all this time, was just a lie?
No, it was only Ikono. That's it. Mama set it up. Found out he was angry about it. He said we couldn't win that way. He was right. We called Mama but she said it was already in motion. It couldn't be stopped. Sikiru went down himself. I tried to stop it. I did. I wish I could take it all back, but it's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life.
I, Mabel King.
I, Mabel King, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear allegiance to the Federal Republic, and that as Governor of Confluence State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am not accepting your resignation. This is unnecessary. We won the reruns fairly. You should leave the past behind you. Let's move forward. What happened at Ikono and to Sikiru is the biggest regret in my life. If I could go back and change it, trust me, I would.
Have you just been here waiting for me?
No. I was sitting and watching that very interesting program on TV.
So your essay on media now? You're still staying even after everything? After what Mabel did to your father?
I was angry at first. Yes. And it was hard to forgive, even harder to forget. But she seems truly remorseful. Besides, it's everything my father worked for. Everything you both worked for.
Not like this.
Ike, I genuinely believe she would do everything we believe she would do. She can change this state.
How can you trust her?
I can't. Well, not completely. She's a politician. But we do need politicians. Not just to lead, but to be held accountable. Ike, please, stay.
Many had written us off. Many had scorned us right in our faces. But we did not relent. We persevered. And finally, justice has been served. Today is a new day. With the determination and resolve of the men and women of Confluence State, a new dawn begins.
People believe that Her Excellency Mabel King will do the right thing. Eh? No. You have to put your money where your mouth is. How many of you people believe that Executive Governor Mabel King will do the right thing? Raise your hand. No, we can't say small. It's either a yes or no. Abi, Do they do half votes? Do you cut your ballot paper into half? So you have to choose. How many of you? Raise your hand very well with your chest. How many of you believe that she's going to be like every other person? There are some people that are undecided. Maybe that's why electoral turnout in Nigeria is very low. You people don't vote. Huh? Okay, so this is time for audience interaction. Zainab, are we ready? So we are going to react to the film. I told you guys, watch it with a different set of eyes. Even though I suspect some of you still didn't. I still think that some of you were watching it as if you were in cinema. But nonetheless, we have exam for you to do after. So Zainab, please, let's, how many of you have your phones? Phone that has internet, not Nokia 3310. How many of you have your phones? Okay, you have your phone, you have data on your phones. Please just raise it. Yes, raise the phone, raise the phone. Okay, for those who don't have internet connection, we do have internet connection. So it's join body and then join body as well as a password. Yes. Join body and then join body as a password. But the join body that is the password is all small letters. And you will find out what join body means later. But at least still join body with our network for now. Huh? Join body. If you search, you will see a network called Join Body. Some of you who checked, you are probably wondering, whose network is Join Body? But you can just join the body. And the password is the same, it's Join Body, but it's all small letters. And you can trust me, I'm not lying. I'm not Mabel King. Okay, so all of you that are connected to the internet, just go to menti.com, menti.com. And when you go there, it will ask you for a code. So the code is on the screen, 3557 1554. So you enter the code, you will see the first question. The first question is, in one word, describe your initial reaction to the film. So one word. What's one word? It's not two words. So the first reaction we have is thrilling. Twitter fingers. We have only one person. How quick? Menti.com, that's menti.com. When you get there, it will ask you for a code. The code is 3557 1554. 3557 1554. All right, we see some words, some more words now. Thrilling, relatable. Somebody says just Nigeria. Someone says intriguing, expository, fantastic, reality, educative, captivating, amusing. Yeah, I think it was amusing. There's a lot of people who were laughing. Informative, unpredictable. I like that. Relatable, captivating. Politics is political. Some of you, I'll start identifying the people who are saying these things. Scary. Actually true. There were parts of it that was really scary. Educative, relatable. The three keywords that we're seeing here are relatable, educative, and intriguing. There's a bit of captivating as well. Somebody said prophetic. Yeah, given that it was in 2019, which we will interrogate, I think maybe Ishaya will tell us a bit. Maybe he has a crystal. But yeah, thought-provoking, addictive Nigerian government, suspenseful. So I just we have 34 responses, and I know there are more than 34 people in the room. In fact, more than 34 people in this side of the room. So this side of the room hasn't voted. So I'm just going to give like 1 more minute for us to get responses from this side of the room. I said I've given you free internet, so you have no reason. Some people said that if you do e-voting, that every Nigerian will vote. Is that true? Huh? The evidence in this room proves otherwise. Some people will still say my phone is not good enough. Okay, so we move. Next. Which character from Fourth Republic left most lasting impression on you? And you know their names. Do you remember their names? Lucky. Ike. I don't want to rig the election. So just, which character left from the Fourth Republic left the most lasting impression on you? Don't shout it. Put it in your... We are waiting your responses. I think I'm... Okay. We don't have any responses? Oh, it's a network. Zainab, do we have connectivity? Huh? Oh, we have 40 responses. Wow, okay. Great. Sorry about that. So Ike is the one, everybody make it. Lucky made it. Yeah, let's clap for Lucky. Mabel King, Ike. Ike's girlfriend. Who's Ike's girlfriend, please? Who's Ike's girlfriend? The beer woman. No, to be honest, it's not beer. It was stout. It was stout. It's not beer. Don't be like Lucky. Sikiru. But what's Ike's girlfriend's name? Somebody says Sikiru's daughter. Buki. So why are you putting Ike's girlfriend instead of Buki? And she didn't leave any lasting impression? Oh, God. Mabel King's confession. That wasn't a character. Ike's resignation. That wasn't a character. Okay, good. I think we have a lot more responses here. Like, next. What's going on? Sorry about the connectivity. Sometimes that's how it is. You have election and then you have a glitch. And then the votes in the server, you can't see it. Yeah, the question is, you can answer it, but the problem is that the INEC server is not... Okay, we have responses, but your screen is not showing. We have about 17 responses. Yes, so what are the key messages or themes from the Fourth Republic that resonated with you the most? We have 23 responses so far. Don't be a hypocrite. Change is constant. The fact we thought Mabel King was innocent. Stand with the truth like Ike stood for all he believed. Truth is important. Even though we are flawed, we should never hide the truth. Can we even? One said the fact that politicians can never be trusted one way or the other. Always play directly. Stand firm on your conviction like Ike. Do the right thing. Change is constant. 36 responses. We have more. Can you scroll through? Somebody says politics is a dirty game. Accountability is important for both gender. Process is as important as the result. That's a very good one. Even the credible can be flawed. The fact that politics is always a dirty game. Okay, we say understanding of loyalty. Let's see all answers, please. Thank you. Good people can succumb to peer pressure. Oh, some people say this is the reason why they have trust issues. Politics is not a dirty game, but becomes dirty depending on how you play it. That's interesting. Corruption isn't always the way. Keep a clean hand in everything. Okay, good. We have 45 responses. Maybe we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you very much. So next question. How effective do you believe films and creative storytelling are in raising awareness about societal issues such as corruption and accountability, having watched this film? On a scale of 1 to 10, how effective do you think films can be in this regard? So we have 27 responses right now, and everybody's kind of close to 10. That's nice. So you think that this film was good at raising the awareness of political accountability, right? You saw all the issues. How many of you voted in the last election? How many of you can identify with the things that you saw in the film? How many of you have been coppers with the election, managing election? Kingsley, you are on the panel. I won't ask you now. All right, great. Next question, please. So what's the next question? Can you refresh for us, please? I think the next question is along the lines of what? What key potential of creative mediums, ranking, I think. Okay, rank the following creative mediums in the order of their potential to change public perceptions. Films, number 1, that's what you're ranking. There's social media content, there's music videos, radio drama, books. Social media content. So you guys don't think music videos influence you? Eh? It depends if you watch it. So what do you mean by social media content? Is it like TikTok videos? Eh? TikTok videos. Oh, okay, I agree. No, I'm not. I can never contest the. If it's TikTok videos that you mean, then yes, they can sit on top of music videos. Awesome. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to influence. Great. All right, do we have anybody left to vote? Okay, no. Next question. What do you perceive as the biggest challenge in using creative storytelling for promoting awareness and change? What's your perception? And we have options here. Some people say censorship. Is it funding? Is it audience reach? Is it authenticity of the story? Is it lack of collaboration? What do you think is the biggest challenge? Censorship, right? No, but do you guys understand that censorship can stop storytelling, right? There are some stories that you can't tell in Nigeria. Huh? Okay. Then audience, there are some people that say they don't watch Nigerian films. We don't watch Nigerian films. So that's an audience reach issue. That the people who are watching the films are not even Nigerian. So how are you reaching them? Okay, good. Next slide, please. So, now we are putting you in the hot seat, all of you. Imagine that you are either an NGO or you are an executive producer, you have money, or you have a story to tell. Now, the filmmakers have come to your office, or you have called them for a meeting. If you are to collaborate with those filmmakers or storytellers, what topic or societal issue would you want to explore? What would your next movie be about if you had the money to make it? Gender-based violence, health-related. Someone says social class. Yeah, only 3 people have, okay, we now have 7. Sexual violence, the Japa syndrome. Some people here are still under suspicion that they are leaving. Security, proper orientation, education, child molestation, mental health. Yeah, you can. We'll share the responses with you, all of you, after this event, so you see the beautiful pictures that you've created. We have 71 responses, so you can keep going. This word cloud tells us these are the issues that you care about, the people in this room. If you were going to make a film or you were going to collaborate around the film, these are the issues you want to talk about: mental health, education. But the biggest one there I can see at the center is gender-based violence. It's the story that everybody wants to tell, or most people in the room here want to tell. But thank you, everyone. This has been a very good audience interaction. And you've been a part of this story as well. You've helped tell the story of this public policy forum, so clap for yourselves. I will now hand over to the moderator for the panel, Mary Amos.
Thank you, Amara. And thank to everyone for participating in this. As we can all see that, the pursuit of accountability always comes with its challenges. And then the fight against corruption is not an easy one. And when you get to that situation, you just have to, decide by yourself. Are you going to, go ahead and do what other people are doing? Or are you just going to stand for, what you believe in, like Ike? So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and invite our panelists. Please, as I call them, and just say 1 or 2 things about them, please give them a round of applause. The panel session is going to promote the use of creative storytelling, particularly film, which we just watched, to address issues related to accountability. So let me just stand here so you can see them as they step up. So first on my list, I'm going to call Ishaya Bako. Ishaya is a Nigerian film director and screenwriter. You can sit anywhere. Just sit over there. Yes. So Ishaya won the Best Short Film Awards at the 8th African Movie Academy Awards. He's an emerging voice of his generation and a member of Global Shapers. I'm also going to introduce Ms. Kate Enshaw. I think she's on the line. So thank you. She's an award-winning actress, social advocate. She's multi-talented, being that she's an actress, she's a singer, she's a model, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Third on my list is Mrs. Yemisi Nathaniel. She's a trained journalist, a political scientist, and a marketer. And she currently serves as the Senior Executive Program and Project Coordinator for Women's Rights Advancement Protection Alternatives as rapper. Next on my list, Mr. Kingsley Agu. I don't know why he's sitting over there. Please come forward. He serves as Director of Community Engagement at Code, and is a seasoned professional in the areas of community engagement and advocacy. His expertise spans program management, community mobilization, public policy, behavioral insight, and research for development. And then last but not the least, Japari Ben-Hiki. She's an actress and humanitarian. Her passion for acting has fueled her drive, commitment, and consistency for over 10 years now. And she has also been featured in one of the Yar'Adua Foundation's advocacy videos, COVID-19 Stops With Me. So thank you. Okay. Sorry, so let me just take the seat over here. So I'm going to start with the director of this film, Ishaya Bako. And I'm just going to start with this important question. What inspired you to direct this movie, Fourth Republic? And how did you ensure that the film stayed, how did you ensure that the film stayed true to its core message while also being engaging?
Yeah, good afternoon now, yeah? Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. What inspired me to make Fourth Republic? I think the inspiration came from the 2015 elections and the election petition tribunals that happened afterwards. Because the 2015 elections were they were interesting. They were literally what's kind of similar to the events in the film, like particularly the Akwa Ibom State election, the Rivers election, and the election petition tribunals, because they were very hotly contested. So I and a couple of friends were following it at the time. I think at the time there were like car chases and gunshots on the streets of Rivers in 2015. And the nature of just what our democracy was, because I think that was also at the cusp of about 16 years being in a democracy, which is the longest in our existence, and it's like, oh, we're about to cross it and even longer. And what does that mean? You know, what does democracy mean in the first instance? How do our processes work from an electoral point of view? And then secondary, the legal aspect of it with the integrity of the judiciary. What was that? So that's kind of like, those were the things, those elements around, okay, this can make an interesting thriller. This would be good to see on cinema, because I hadn't seen any political film like that. So yeah, like it was at that point in time that I started to pen down some things and then talk to a couple of friends of mine that were lawyers as well.
Thank you for that. I'm going to move to Miss Kate. Okay. Yes, we can hear you, but maybe speak a little bit louder. Good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. It's breaking a bit, but I can hear you.
Okay, so let's just try this. So my first question to you, the character you portrayed in the movie Fourth Republic had to confront some deep and violent systemic problems with political accountability in Nigeria. In a way, your role draws a bit of parallel with your own life, being that you contested for the Federal House of Representatives for Calabar Municipal ticket under PDP. I hope you can still hear me. Can you please just talk about these problems you face in the film and how they may affect participation of youth, women in politics?
I could only hear bits and pieces of your question. I don't know, were you asking me how, when I ran for office, I was affected?
Yes, so, yes, because, you know, what you portrayed and the fact that you also experienced, you know, this kind of thing when you actually contested in 2015. So we just wanted to ask how the problem you faced, you know, in the movie and probably when you know, contested, you know, in 2015, how the problems that you faced and then how this kind of problems are also faced by women and youth in politics.
First and foremost, it was about my gender. You know, the fact that I was a woman and they didn't think that it was enough. I was actually advised to start from the state House of Assembly instead of going for the position I was running for, which is for the Federal House of Reps. And so it draws a parallel with that gentleman asking me, well, why she didn't go for something smaller. There was attacks during the time that I was about to cast my vote with other candidates. But on the day I had to do mine, there wasn't much of a problem, just that they were jeering and shouting at me and laughing and, you know, calling me names into fab and all that. Also, a lot of intimidation. There was a SMS broadcast sent out that, oh, who is this actress that comes like this? She knows everything. You know those bulk messages that were sent out during the admin sent out? That was sent out about me as well. So a lot of intimidation. It was quite harrowing for me because it was my first time venturing into politics where I felt I could make a much bigger difference. But I'm so glad I tried it. I'm so glad I walked into that terrain because Fourth Republic is still relevant in our Nigeria of today. It's so relevant. And I think for the next how many years, unless we get it right in all ramifications of our electoral process, from voting to collation, all the processes that have to do with our election, Fourth Republic will still be relevant for a long time.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, yes, we heard you clearly. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that experience and, you know, for mentioning the kind of problems that women usually face, you know, in every areas of our life, of their life, especially, you know, in politics.
Can I also add that women sometimes are okay, they are comfortable with tokens in their quest for political office. Women leader, some leader, assistant governor, you know, the lower parts, for lack of a better word. That's tokenism, which is always offered to women, especially in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that would now bring me to, you know, Mrs. Yemisi Nathaniel. You know, we just finished talking about gender. And, you know, there are social norms around corruption and gender, like I said, as well as, and that storytelling can either reinforce or help address these, you know, these norms. So in your experience, how has storytelling played a role in either addressing these issues or reinforcing these issues? And if it has reinforced them, how do you think we can change that?
Thank you, Mary. I wanted to give a short poem before I start to speak. I don't know if we can have it up there.
Yes, please.
Thank
Zina.
you. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Yar'Adua Center, for bringing Rapper here. My name is Mr. Nathaniel, and I bring you greetings from the Chair of the Board of Trustees and Ajasa Odotumadi, who is the Secretary General of Rapper. I want to say this poem, if it can come up quickly, so that we look at it vis-a-vis what happens in the society today. That was a poem of 2012, 2012. The Sting of Sea. It stings, it bites, it stings. Everywhere and in all corners, this sea is gaining ground. Like an insect that stings and suits to scratch, we kept scratching. While scratching its suits, we took no notice of the wound we are creating. Afterwards, we all pay and are still paying the price of sea. Sea for corruption has become a major sting in our society. It cuts away committed men and causes ceaseless and needless cries. Could this be a curse or coincidence? When will that day come? That day that this mighty challenge will catapult us into a long envisaged change. Change we desire. Corrupt we become. For how long will we fold our hands and watch corruption sweep us away? As is a conglomeration of seared consciences brought together by a common greed, we have crowned cotton canals and call it business. We crave over quick means and shatter our children's dream of becoming champions. Yet we go about unconcerned and pretend our hands are clean. We cover up with spiritual carnivals as if our hearts are in them. We cause religion to lose its headlong virtue and value. In our closets, we mock and cringe at those not complying with our corrupt jamborees and calculated lies. I don't know. In our closets, we mock and cringe at those not complying with our corrupt jamborees and calculated lies. We tag our unsung hero, Mr. and Mrs. Know-It-All, or do it right. We laugh at them carelessly, ha ha ha, as if in cacophony, in an effort to justify our dead consciences. Oblivious of the fact that every corrupt act cuts cruelly at the root that binds this great country together. Should this bubble burst, what will be said concerning you? Will you be said to be among the stinging sea that cuts a cord of togetherness? What would you be remembered for? One who gathers or scatters. No matter the colors given to corruption, no matter how long the truth is concealed and made a caricature of, meanwhile celebrating the crooks. We, the unsung heroes, refuse to be cajoled by this catastrophe that is looming. Corruption is the cankerworm that harasses calamity, controversy, and confusion. We must wage a bitter war against it with the last blood in us. Our brains fail to travel the road to full capacity courtesy of corruption. Our community showers compliments on cheats while honest living gets no recognition. Oftentimes I wonder, did some of us find ourselves in the wrong continent, or is this our destiny? To point our world to the path of reasoning. Countless times my tears flowed, as if crime will seize this craziness and covetous adventures of my country fellows. This is a clarion call. Heed it. It is a national assignment. Let's do it. No one can do it alone, nor can any institution do it alone. We all owe it to our generations yet unborn. So let's do it. Thank you. Like the question I'm asked, one, we all know that storytelling is a powerful, let me say art in general, refuses to die, even when the artists have died. So, and storytelling is a part of art, and is a very powerful tool, both to make and to mar the social ethics, behavior of the community. One of the ways that storytelling can address gender and corruption issues, number one, is because storytelling is empathic. And when you watch a good story, just like the one we just watched, the Fourth Republic. Honestly, it's emphatic. It's empathic, and you have understanding. Yes, it's very easy to blame the lady that had to give in under the pressure, the social pressure, to her principles. Principled people are principled. But I have seen principles going down in this part of the world because of the kind of environment we have created around our so-called leaders. And so it's very easy to sit down here and condemn her actions, but it was encouraged by the kind of stories we celebrate. For instance, it can make, if it can be empathic and understanding, another thing it can do is that it can educate. Storytelling creates awareness. And another thing it does is it inspires. But when it goes the other way around, it could encourage bad behavior. Storytelling can give credibility to stereotypes, attitudes that could make gender roles more like molested, jettisoned. For instance, look at when Ketensha was speaking that when she was going to cast her vote, her people were just kind of booed. Why? If you were a man, would they have done that? Those are stereotypes, thinking, where is this lady coming from? So these are things that, and most of our films at times sort of support stereotypes and corruption. For instance, what are we trying to reflect when we bring up a film of a 19, 20-year-old boy who made money and is made a chief in a community? Has anybody questioned or called him to accountability? It starts from our various society and communities. If you don't do that, and if you're encouraging it in films that we are reflecting, remember that whatever we show as stories reflects the society, is the mirror of the society. Another way that we can say, how do we address if we had been showing stories that is supporting negative attitudes? We can come up with stories that is inclusive. So that at least you understand that you don't come up with stories that will say a boy should do this work, a girl should do this work. We have to look at every story we are putting forward in a just lens. We partner with civil society organizations who are working towards gender to ensure that whatever we are bringing, we are not selling gender stereotypes unknowingly to the community. The same thing, corruption. I think I should stop here because there are other people around. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that contribution. I think, now we've agreed that, storytelling is a powerful tool, to address any society issues that we have. So I think that will now bring me to Ishaya again, asking that, like you mentioned that you've not seen this kind of stories before, and that was like one of the the inspiration behind you producing this movie. So what do you think are the barriers or challenges that prevent the production of this kind of stories that address, the kind of issues that we have in Nigeria?
What are the barriers
what are the
that
barriers?
prevent this? I'll be not a very good person to answer that. I think the barriers are always varied. Films are obviously made oftentimes for entertainment and for commercial value because it does cost quite a bit of money to make films and films to a certain standard. And you're looking at audience appeal and what reflects. I think at the core of it is obviously the philosophy of the vision of the filmmaker and the sense of responsibility as well to whatever issue or whatever narrative they're trying to reflect. So I was very conscious of that. Our organization and I were very conscious of that when we're developing this story. We're very conscious to make sure that the research was right. We're very conscious to make sure that in terms of reflecting the nature of the characters, they reflected us, human beings. As she mentioned, oftentimes art is a reflection of society or a mirror to society. So we're very conscious of that in terms of developing it, and conscious of the responsibility we also have in terms of the nature of the messaging and the terrain in what it is that we're trying to say. But back to your question in terms of the barriers, as the poll that was asked earlier on in terms of what are the challenges that filmmakers face, it's always the same thing. There is funding, there is the requisite skill and expertise. There's the courage to even do it, the courage to tell it. The idea of your film being censored. I've had a documentary that's been censored in the country before, about subsidy, no less, thinking about that. But again, the idea of it is, okay, if you're going to do it, are you going to have that sense of responsibility? Are you going to do it justice? And are you also going to have the courage to tell the story? I think those are now not the barriers, but kind of the solution to the barriers in a sense. But yeah, those are the things that you kind of think about in terms of like whatever issue or whatever narrative it is that you want to tell and you want to communicate is that.
Thank you so much. So I think we are going to look at this thing from a civil society perspective. So I'm going to come to you, Mr. Kingsley Agu from Code. In your opinion, how important do you think is it for filmmakers like, Ms. Aishaya, to accurately represent issues in society? And what impact can a film like the one we just watched have on its audience?
All right, thank you very much, Mary. And nice movie, I must say. And I think this really captured the situation we find ourselves when it comes to elections in Nigeria. You could literally relate. And for me personally, when it got to the characters, that's the two characters that witnessed the violence, I could easily relate when I was corps member and was a presiding officer during the elections. Election rigging actually starts way from INEC publishing the list of those that will be presiding officers. You all go for trainings, and then on the day of the election, your name is missing on the list. They've substituted those lists with their cronies and what have you. And if eventually you make it to that list, right from you arriving in the local government or where your election is supposed to happen, they started trying to coerce you, trying to induce you, try to give you everything nice, just to ensure that you're comfortable, so that when it's time to do their bidding, you would have to cooperate with them. So it's just easy for me to just relate to this, and I think the producer did a fantastic job. So we should put a round of applause for him, please. And what's the place of movies in telling the story? Varying issues that has to do with transparency and accountability across the country. And the latest being the election accountability report. Now, this election accountability report, which came up in 2022, December 2022, in fact, Myriad spoke about all the issues and even predicted what could happen in the 2023 election. And you could see some of the issues that were highlighted, right from voter buying. And voter buying in this report did not just come from the part that politicians want to influence voters, but it comes from the part that voters also demand. So if as a politician you go down to the field and you're campaigning, everybody's asking you, waiting there, you know, go drop something. So you could see that is actually the reality we'll find in the field. Another issue is also the loopholes in our electoral laws. And I think a lot of us are getting to see those loopholes, even now that the election petition is actually ongoing. So the loopholes in the Electoral Act didn't just even talk about election petitions, it also talked about election financing. Because if INEC as a body is well empowered to be able to follow up on financing of these political parties and campaigns, that way you'll be able to tell if anybody's going beyond the limit that has been given to them by the law to spend on elections. So that's another loophole in the Electoral Act. Another one is voters' apathy. And voters' apathy is not far-fetched from the problems of the election. Violence. You have a lack of trust of the system. So you've elected someone the previous time and he promised he's going to construct the road in front of your house, and 4 years has passed, he has not constructed that road. You'll be like, please, I'm not even coming out to vote anymore. After all the promises they've made in time past, they've not fulfilled them. So these are the kind of issues you actually find that have been affecting us. So it's very important that filmmakers partner with civil society organizations, because we are in some level, we could actually say we are custodian of knowledge in terms of this reality, and we can easily influence and be very much specific about the issues, which the filmmakers can use their skills to actually propel and dish them out in a way that we all want to see and take lessons from them. I think the place of collaboration cannot be overemphasized. And also, before I actually drop the mic, I would also want to throw a little bit of light. I don't know if is anybody here that have watched the movie Concussion by Will Smith. Now it's about a doctor. In fact, that doctor is a Nigerian, and he discovered that there is a brain issue or neurological issues with the constant force between players in the NFL. That's NFL is the National Football League. It's the rugby, the American soccer, as they will call it. Yes, American football. And the NFL, you know, you discover something, you expect that the organization handling this would just buy into it. I'll be like, yeah, this is a wonderful discovery. We can now protect our players even more. But no, it wasn't so. Rather, they were apprehensive. In fact, they tried to attack his personality and the rest. But then not from one player, but multiple players, he was able to get accountability in that regards. And now you have not just the NFL benefiting from that, other sports are also benefiting from that. And in fact, there has been an heightened interest in concussion, especially when it comes to even football. The soccer we usually will play in Nigeria. So you see, that is one person being steadfast and standing on the facts on ground that this situation is actually going to affect the life or endangering the lives of our players that are actually entertaining others. So if the filmmaker has not seen a reason to actually propagate or actually find a more subtle way of telling the story about this doctor, probably by now we'll still have more players dying from concussion or neurological issues in the NFL and other sports. I think I would end my conversation here at this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley. I mean, that was going to be my next question of how creative storytelling can serve as an incentive to, to accountability actors. But you're maybe if you have more time. Thank you. So I'm just going to move to Japari. So as an actress, do you frequently view your roles in movies as platforms to address social issues? And if you can just briefly share an example of a story of how your role enabled, to tackle any issues at all.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Yar'Adua Foundation, for having me here. I do think that as an actor who wants her body of work to have posterity, I have to be very deliberate about the roles I pick. Anyone that knows me knows I don't go for just anything. I'm quite deliberate about the films I'm in and the scripts I'm given. So yes, I'm quite deliberate about that. An example, the movie isn't out yet, but that's one story that, that's one of my really amazing stories that I've done, especially because I say this a lot, I take pride in it, I'm from the northern part of Nigeria, the Northeast, and I have had to experience certain things, especially, because of the Boko Haram insurgency. I had family directly, affected by that, and this story, it's it was basically about that, and I played lead. It showed, the story of a girl that had to, be sold into marriage, early child marriage. There was, sexual violence, abuse of power, stuff like that. So yeah, I think that as an actor, you should be very deliberate about the roles you play, because most times that's how the public sees you. They don't really see you as, well, they might see you as a person, but they see you from the, roles that you get to play. Yeah.
That's very correct. Thank you. So I think I'm just going to ask Skate the same question. Can you hear me? Okay. Do we still have Miss Kate online? Okay. Just like I asked Japari, you having had a substantial career in the okay, having had a substantial career in the film industry, do you also frequently view your roles in movies as platform to address, societal issues? And if there's a story of how you've been able to do that, if you can just briefly share with us.
Is this for me?
Yes, ma, it is.
Sorry, the volume went off, the audio went off for a bit. Okay, so another, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I consciously seek or agree to movies that have a message in terms of changing the narrative and the perception, different perceptions, and dealing with different issues. Another movie, of course, I'm very proud of Fourth Republic. I'll be forever proud of it. Another movie which I took part in is The Ghost and the House of Truth, produced by Ego Boyo. It's about a police officer, a female inspector, police officer, who goes after a rape suspect for the common Nigerian. The woman who lost her child was not rich or everything. She even tried to bribe the police officer, but the woman refused, that she was stainless. That's what she called herself. And she followed due process and everything and then found the killer. It was speaking to the kind of police force that we would be proud of and that we wanted in our society. Not a thing that has to do with collecting money before you attend to anybody. Anybody should have access to protection, to security, should be able to walk into the police station and state their case, and then they would give it the same attention that they would give if it was a rich man or someone of means who approached them. So yes.
Thank you so much. I think it's important for me to ask this question. That in your role in the Fourth Republic, were there moments where you felt a strong responsibility towards the story being told?
A strong responsibility. I didn't hear the other part.
A strong responsibility towards the story that is being told in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Being that I went through running for office myself, and I asked Ishaya, I'm like, why did you choose me? It brought back some painful memories for me, certain parts of it. And yes, I felt that that story needed to be told and told properly. So I needed to put all of me, all of my ability as an actor into portraying that role and make it believable so that the message would come across and it would resonate with anyone who watches it, whether within Nigeria, outside of these shows. So yes, I felt felt a strong sense of responsibility to play that for playing that role. Yes.
Thank you so much. I think I'm just going to ask the last question to Japari. Looking at the audience now, you can see that we have majorities like the young people. What advice will you give? What advice will you give? I mean, the young creatives that are looking to use their platforms to create lasting impact or change in their communities and society at large?
Okay, so I think you should find what works for you. I don't believe in telling you, okay, this is what you should do, because it might not work for you, but find what works for you, stick to it. Be very patient. I think that is something that a lot of young people lack these days. Patience and consistency. We just want to, create whatever, and keep it going. But be patient. It would come. It would come. Be consistent, and yes, do what works for you. Be good at it. Keep learning. Improve on your craft. That's it.
Very much. I really like that. Keep learning and, be patient. Please, a round of applause for our panelists. It's nice. Thank you so much. So now we are going to go into the question and answer session. So if you have any questions for any of the panelists, please just raise your hand. Okay. Yes, please.
Okay, how many hands? Only 3 men. Where are the women? Okay, I'll take the woman first. Come. Come forward. Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. So my question is to Mr. Ishaya Bako, yes. So when you produce movies like this that talks about society and all, there is a board that regulates movies in Nigeria here. But most of the time when you produce movies like this, I do not think it's more or less like you're exposing politicians and all of that. So is there like a restriction from them, or are there barriers that you get to face, and how do you deal with them? That's my question.
Yes, I think so. Unless you want to talk to you.
Is there so yes, there's the National Film and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, that is our censorship body. So as I mentioned earlier, I actually have a documentary that was banned by them, but it's on YouTube. It's called Fueling Poverty. And this was, approved. As I said earlier on, I think at the heart of it is just being true to the story that you're telling as a filmmaker. I think if you're sure that you're not intentionally trying to be controversial, so to speak, which is the responsibility of the artist. Yes, you want to evocate emotions, you want to evocate reactions, you want to stir change, but you also have a sense of responsibility. It wouldn't make sense if I'm trying to talk about child marriage and then be either critical or blasphemous to any particular religion. It's more counterproductive than productive. So you have to be conscious of that, and you need to be very sensitive towards that. But at the same time, it also shouldn't stop the expression of art as it should be. But those things you balance out, and then when you figure out which battle to take, as with everything in life, you figure out, will I die on this mountain, or should I just, go ahead and tell a good story?
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Eniola. My question is actually to Kate. You know, I heard a definition of politics that politics is you win, then you do good.
So the question I want to ask is the film, you know, in using EK now, is it not, you know, discouraging people from actually taking the steps that they need to do to actually win so that they can now do good? Because if everybody is EKing, I don't know whether we will actually get, you know, I'm talking about reforming the system from inside, doing what it takes to win, then reforming it, and over time believing that, you know, the society will not be better. Thank you. Maybe later, that question. Did Kate hear that question? Okay, my name is Eniola. I'm an entrepreneur. I said I had a definition of politics that said politics is you win, then you do good. Which means, you know, extrapolating it to say that you do what it takes to get to the place, because you can't drive a car from the back seat. Whatever good, whatever progress you mean for the society, if you don't get there, if you don't win, you may not be able to achieve all of those things. And all those roads and bridges and education and healthcare will die in your with you. And those who mean evil will actually get there. So if you are faced, I'm actually asking Kate this question because it's actually critical in the film also. She had to do what she needed to do to get to the place so that she can now do good. Now, taking it to the real society, for her, for Kate, can you actually do that in real life so that you can get there and then do good? Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's interesting that the the person asking the question said that yes, you get in there and then you do good. Yes, I mean it seems like a catch-22 situation where if you do, you're damned. If you don't, you're still damned. I may, but I don't know. At this point in my life, I don't think I would. Maybe years back, I won't say who. When I ran for my election and then the result had almost come out, not yet come out, I was offered, to be truthful, to change the result and then get in and then they will, sort me out. I said no. This is the first time I've ever said this. And I think to my conscience, it wouldn't be good. But I wouldn't judge anyone as long as you do good. It's like some saying like the end justifies the means. It sounds bad, but if you're going to do good in the end and you have to muddy the waters a bit, then I mean, if that's the way, then that's the way. Did you hear me?
Sorry, just to add to, I really like the question, and I mean, like, it's one of the things I enjoy about, like, with the films and conversations that come out of a film. Yes, Mabel King did that, but at what cost? And I think that's always the thing to kind of measure. And in many ways, we're not trying to be prescriptive with the film to say, okay, look, you must do it like this, you must do it like that. That's why you had Ike and Buki. Ike left, Buki stayed. And then you also had Lucky and Amina, where Lucky was trying to, you know, utilize the information to benefit himself, while Amina was trying to do the right thing. And again, we put it to the audience, and in our developing on the story and even the behavioral insights and behavioral aspects or behavioral change elements we're seeking to foster the conversations around is for you to internalize it and say, okay, if I were in this position, would I do this? As you asked. And as we put it in the film, there was consequence to Mabel's decision. There was a direct consequence for Mabel's decision to rig the election. She lost a friend and a confidant and her campaign manager. And that's the thing with life, like there are consequences. And what action you take is kind of also what your consequences are based on.
Hi, my name is Rodney Omokache, and my question is for Ishaya and Kate. And Jafari. And the first thing is a commentary. So my first is a commentary on the movie, right? As it relates to how storytelling can affect and impact one's mindset on certain things. And what I found very interesting about the movie is the use of lighting, right? There were some areas that are very, very dark visually, and using lanterns and things of that nature, I felt that it was very useful in immersing the viewer into the Nigerian situation. Because most times when you watch other movies made by Nigerians, that lighting issue can be a tough one a tough needle to thread. Because on one hand, you want the viewer to see things. On the other hand, darkness is part and parcel of the Nigerian experience. So I like how you were able to toe that line in certain scenes that really captured the urgency of the situation. The second thing, now the question is this. I like to believe that with art, you can use to hide secrets. You can tell secrets with your art, whether as an actor, as a director, as a cinematographer, whatever the case may be. Now, with the issue with the censorship board, right, this is where it gets interesting for me. What lengths do you think you can go to be a bit more subtle with the messages you hide in the stories you tell so that they can sort of bypass the watchdogs in the censorships? Because one way or another, certain stories must be told, certain mindsets must be changed, and certain emotions must be felt. And I think it's incumbent on artists to find clever ways to insert their messages, their agendas, in ways that still resonate with the audience, and still hold the artistic merit and value, while missing the watchful eyes of those who would sort of not let very overt messaging to get to the public. So how do you, as the actor and the director and the general production team, how do you think going forward you can be more mischievous in that regard? Thank you.
Kate? Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so, I mean, we're in the 21st century. I do not believe that any creative work should be limited, so to speak, by anybody, because people experience things differently. And your standard might not be another person's standard. Now, if you want to go the route of traditional media, which is through the censorship board, then their media showing it in the cinema, that way. But now we have multiple platforms, multiple. Like Ishaya said, his documentary was it's on YouTube. You can watch it. Census Board doesn't own YouTube. You can even create your own channel. There are people using, I mean, like the way the internet is going, there are so many ways on which you can get message out there. You just need to direct people's eyes there. Now, when you try to be limited, that means people are trying to tell you how to tell your story. And then when you try to hide messaging, some people might not get it. Sometimes it needs to be like stark reality in their faces. So there are multiple platforms in which, so whoever wants to tell overt stories, please feel free. But who doesn't, also feel free. We should be able to have no boundaries in terms of storytelling so that we can get the message across. That's what I feel.
Yes, what she said. Thank kids. I almost forgive you for running away, but yeah, thank you. No, but that's okay. No, but I mean, I resonate with what she said, and I don't think we necessarily, like when you say mischievous, I don't know that you necessarily need to be mischievous. As I said, like there has to be a sense of responsibility in what you're saying. It's not that because I'm a filmmaker, because I'm an artist, because I'm a musician, because I want to do this music video, I want to intentionally insult, or be provocative. If I want to be provocative to bring attention to a particular issue, then again, it's the artist's right or regard. But then again, there's still that sense of responsibility. How far you take it is the artist, is up to the artist's discretion. But as she also mentioned, it shouldn't be any like body in a sense. It should be the audience. Like in terms of if the audience accepts the messaging with it, then that's a success. It's if the audience starts to reject it or feel offended by it or you're like targeted, then, and I think that's the balance that the artist has to make. Jabari?
I mean, I think that's why we're here. Yeah, promoting accountability when we're telling our stories. I also don't believe in what are we hiding, really. I know that I'm going to pick my words wisely. I know that Nigerians can be a bit hypocritical. We're telling our stories and then we like to act like these things aren't real. These stories are real. And the more we try to hide them, the more we're running away from the truth. And where does that take us, really? So I just think we need to do what we have to do, basically. Yeah. We don't need to hide our stories.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I want to say I really enjoyed watching the movie. In fact, I saw it for the very first time this morning. I had to download it on Netflix, just so I can have a previewing before this viewing, and I really enjoyed it. You did you and your team, you did a good job. My name is Fabian Igbaji. I represent Seed Sessions. I'm a mental health professional and a therapist. So my question goes to you, Mr. Kingsley, right? Okay, so how do you work in the civil society space, how do we go about managing incumbent influence on the electoral process? Because it seems to be a very important aspect of elections and all that. We may not have been able to separate the powers of incumbents on influencing the outcome of elections, and then when the judicial process starts, even though, somehow people will still say there's still some influence going on, but in other countries, it's possible that they may have gotten it right, or they are getting it right to an extent. What is out there? What can we bring home to be able to manage influence of the incumbents on the electoral process? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. I think this brings us back to some of the recommendations I was highlighting. And one of them is the law. Because at the end of the day, the law is the law. And everything would have to take precedence based on what the law is stating. So number one is to strengthen the electoral system that gives the independent national electoral body more independence to operate with or without the incumbent. I would choose without the incumbent because of the fact that it means INEC will still have to do their job without fear or favor of anyone that is in power. Number two, when that is done, what do we want to see in the law that would help the independence of INEC? Number one, how about we have election petition tribunal concluded before whoever it is that won election is sworn in? Because that way everybody's on the same level. We would all compete with either the party structure or personal structure or what have you at that point in time in the tribunal, and not having undue advantage of the office which you're occupying. So how about we amend our laws to ensure that before you're sworn in, every election petition is sorted out within, of course, within a particular time frame. That's number two. Number three is, how do we get the INEC commissioners and also the INEC chairman into office? As it is right now, it's the prerogative of the president to actually nominate the commissioners. And I think a lot of us that follow the news will know there were a lot of issues with even the commissioners that conducted these elections. In fact, I know one very big chief party member of the incumbent party member was actually incumbent party was nominated as a commissioner, and a lot of people threatened to bring down the heavens before a name was taken out of that list. But what we don't know is that that was actually the smallest of them all. There are people in parties holding very exalted position and are decision makers also made their way to that list. But because they are not popular, a lot of people did not see that coming. So it still happened. So how do we get the leadership of INEC and its commissioners across board? We need to sort that out to ensure that it's completely independent of the president. How about we leave it to constituents? Can we nominate? These are the list. Let's nominate. And then we put it to vote in the National Assembly. Or we just have to devise that means of ensuring that it is devoid of the influence of the president, the incumbent party, or what have you. Then finally, is at the end of the day, we just need to build up systems and trust in the systems. Because why is it that it's also similar process? It's the president that still nominates who leads the head of electoral body in the US, for example. But they trust in the system that when it gets to the National Assembly would take their time, for example, or House of Commons as you have over there, they would do their thorough job to do due diligence to ensure that this person is impeccable to actually take that position. And also, whoever it is that is taking that position can beat his chest and say, I will stand to do the right thing. I'll borrow what Ishaya mentioned. There are consequences to this action. And sometimes what plays in my head is, how do we, for example, start with our officials of government, let's say the security agencies, to make them understand that if you've nominated yourself, if you volunteered that I want to be, let's say, an EFCC agent, you've decided to sacrifice your life for Nigeria because people will come after you. They will come after your family. They will come after what you love the most. So how do we get people that we're able to separate them from their family? Because that is the truth. How do you separate them from things they love that nothing gets to them, to ensure that they are doing what they need to do irrespective of the consequences that might come with such actions? So we really need to sit down and then devise a means of getting to that particular point. But finally, you can get a working system, electoral system in a society that is not working well. I think maybe we ask too much of INEC. I think so, because maybe we ask too much from INEC, because INEC do not have security outfits. INEC do not have a logistic company. Neither do INEC produce ballot papers or own the internet. INEC use an existing system. And what is the current system we have in Nigeria? Issues with the security structure we have currently, issues with logistics, transportation, likes, issues with the court system and the rest. So you don't expect all of a sudden INEC to just be a miracle and just work well. Maybe we ask too much from INEC. So it means we need to really, really get our society working, if at all we want other systems to also work well as well. I think I'll just leave it at this point. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I would like to support what he just said. I see two things in my head that were not mentioned, which is media placement. The traditional media had to be able to balance between whoever is the incumbent and those who are co-contestants. Another one is a support system. Nobody had a monopoly of it. You can see that even though in that Fourth Republic, Mabel, King Mabel or whatever, did not, she made use of the women's movement, which also the incumbent could also make use of. And those women stood with her without any, we didn't see anywhere they requested any gain, except that they joked about we needed to take stout when you have won. So that's a strong one, that we know that the community, yes, the people's mandate might be stolen, but not forever. Because the voice of many, you may not be able to erode. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ame Ayejina. I'm an actor. This is the first time I'm seeing Fourth Republic, even though I've heard about it for eons. So I have to go watch it again. I think that it did what it was supposed to do as a film, which was to serve as a form of art and a tool for social change. My question is simple. What is the inspiration behind the title Fourth Republic? Thank you.
The inspiration is we are in the Fourth Republic. And the idea of it is what is the nature of our democracy from both an electoral point of view and a judicial point of view. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we've come to the end of the Q&A session. We promised some people that we round up by 1, and time is far gone. But I'll just allow Ms. K to say, 1 or 2 things and to just say a goodbye.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the Yar'Adua Foundation for the opportunity to be a part of this panel discussion. Thank you, Ishaya, for the opportunity to be the cast, one of the cast of the Fourth Republic. I just want us to remember that our actions have consequences. This country, whether we like it or not, is ours. And leadership is service. So we have to look inwards. Whenever we have to make decisions that order on our well-being as citizens of this great country, we have to start making the right choices. It's so important. Everyone else is moving on, and it seems Nigeria is lagging behind, despite its huge potential. And Nigerians have thrived once they leave these shores. They thrive like no man's business. So it behoves us, each and every one of us, to put our hands to the plow and make sure we do things right, from the citizens to the leadership. What I always say is leadership that sets the tone. But then we also, as a people, we need to be able to hold the people who come to us and say they want to serve us, hold them accountable in truth, not minding the tribe, because we are a great nation. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us online. Another round of applause to our finalists. Thank you. You may go back to your seats. Okay. Okay, so while the picture is going on, I'm going to use this opportunity to invite Umi Yakubu. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to invite Umi Yakubu, Creative Director at Griot Studios. This event wouldn't have been possible without Griot Studios, you know. So I'm going to briefly just read her bio. She's the Creative Director at Griot Studios, like I said. She co-founded the Cyberlogic Foundation, a non-profit organization which harnesses the power of 3D printing to craft prosthetic limbs for amputees in Nigeria. Umi has made significant contributions to the creation of multiple award-winning documentary narratives, including Silent Tears, a documentary shedding light on gender-based violence. A round of applause for her, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Sorry, pardon me, I'm going to sit down. It has been a long day, so I'll try not to take too much of your time. Wow. So my name is Umi, as she introduced, creative director at Griot Studios, also executive producer of Fourth Republic. We've heard so many interesting things discussed today and so many interesting ideas and perspectives, and I just want to bring it back to telling for, in this case, accountability, but beyond accountability, whatever other social issue that you want to talk about or you want to highlight. Our griots, our tales by moonlight, change for ages, and because it works, to be honest. There are so many socio-psychological reasons why they work. I'm only going to touch on 4. One of the core reasons why storytelling works as a medium, as a tool for change, and in whatever format, whether it's video, audio, so on, is because it is what we call counter-arguing. So no matter how well-intentioned your message is, as long as I feel like you're preaching to me, and I don't really have that relationship to you, I might struggle or be defensive against your message. So with stories, what we find is that people come to that decision by themselves, by watching the thing. And that's kind of why, well, both of us watch the same film, I'll have a different takeaway, you have a different takeaway, because we're both coming to that decision by ourselves without feeling like we're pressured or being lectured to. So one of the key reasons why storytelling works as a tool, arguing value that it has. Another reason why storytelling is really powerful is because the relationships we feel or we have with the fictional characters, they sort of mimic the relationship we have with real people. So when we like a character or we're impressed by a character, we are more emotionally invested in their decisions and their outcomes. And one of the key things as human beings is that we learn by watching. So if I like this person and I feel like I can relate with this person, I am learning by watching based off what the person is doing. So whether there's positive or negative consequences, but we are learning and more invested in that. So that helps increase my motivation to want to be like that person, which brings me to the third reason why, well, one of the reasons why storytelling works, because what's it called? When you tell a very good story, people talk about it. If it's a good story, if it's captivating plot, captivating characters, people talk about it. And especially when not only the characters and the storyline they talk about is one of the leading sectors that have used creative storytelling from ages. And I'll give an example of a global popular example, which is Grey's Anatomy. The Kaiser Family Foundation worked with Grey's Anatomy to imbibe messages around HIV and AIDS for years. And nobody knew that they were watching a social messaging film because it is entertaining. But you learn things when you watch Grey's Anatomy, and it's been going on for so many years. Now, coming back to Nigeria, we do have I guess organizations and media houses that are using creative storytelling to talk about particular issues, from MTV Sugar, which Shaya worked on as well, to Moving Images, Sugar Bunchy, which is a radio program, to Ariwa 24's Kwana Chesein, to Griot Studios, we have a mobile game, Jaru's Journey. You have organizations and creatives working together to talk about different issues. And it might be overt or covert, as Kate has mentioned, depending on who your target audience is. But the core things that we know that a good story has to have is that you can't feel like you're preaching to the audience. It has to be something that people can relate to. It can't be unrealistic, because automatically this can't work in Nigeria. That's the first thing we'll say and dismiss it. And then it also has to show somebody doing something different, no matter how small, because we're learning by watching, especially if we relate with the characters. So I'm really excited about the discussions that have happened today, and I'm hoping that we use creative storytelling as one of the many tools, and I'm hoping that the people in this room, whether creatives or people in development field or people that are on both sides, I look forward to seeing more of what you guys create and the topics that matter to you the most in the most creative way that you can think. So thank you so much for giving us your time today and sharing your opinions. And on behalf of everybody else, I want to thank you once again for showing up, and we look forward to seeing more of your work and being part of the audience for this. Thank you.